I'm James, a student at Hinatori, the Learning Lab at Te Papa, and I'm out here at Te Papa today to show you Te Papa's bush city. Well, to briefly show you 12 of the native trees that live here. Alright, let's go and have a look, shall we? So first we have the mighty totara, and now Maori actually called this the king of the forest because they grew to 30 metres and they were found everywhere basically, and this one still has a long way to go yet. And another reason Maori called them kings of the forest is they actually they'll use a whole totara to make one war canoe, one waka. So yeah, they were very prized. Okay, see you around, totara. Good luck with your growth. So next we have kawakawa. Now kawakawa was quite prized for its medical uses with its leaves. You can see here, there's a little kawakawa leaf. And they'd use it for things like alleviating toothache, so they'd get a leaf and then they'd put it on their teeth. And they'd also boil it to make a nice herbal tea. And the way to tell if which kawakawa leaves are the juiciest and therefore have the best medical properties, you look for how many holes there are. So this one only has a couple of holes, but if you find one with tons and tons of holes, those are the best because those are the ones the caterpillars love. Now the caterpillars somehow know which ones are the juiciest, so always look out for that if you are trying to make some kawakawa tea. Okay, let's move on. So here we have golden totara, and of course it is practically almost the same as the totara, the normal totara I showed you before. The only difference is normal totara, they grow to about 30 metres, while golden totara grows to only 10 metres. And another main difference is, of course, instead of green leaves, they're golden. They've got all these nice gold leaves. And because of these two factors, they're very popular for large gardens and, outdoor community spaces like parks and, and picnic areas and all those sort of areas because they're just so compact and so pretty as well. Okay, let's move on. So here we have kānuka, and it was quite prized by Maori because they would use its bark as a waterproof building material, so of course that was very important for construction here in Sogi Aotearoa. And also, it's also known as the white tea tree because European settlers figured out that you could actually make a substitute for tea from it. All you had to do really was get a leaf and just cut full of leaves and boil them. And there you go, you got some kānuka tea. Okay, let's go. So now we have manuka, which looks a lot like kānuka, but the difference is that the leaves with manuka are quite spiky, while kānuka's ones are quite reasonably soft. And also, manuka sort of grows to about 8 metres, while kānuka grows to 15 metres. And manuka is quite known for the honey produced by its nectar. As you can see here, it's a jar of manuka honey made by some bees, probably on a manuka farm. And it's quite prized here in New Zealand and also overseas for its antibiotic sort of properties, so it's quite nice to have. And also, just like Kanuka, it also has a name, the tea tree, that differs from the Europeans using it as a substitute for tea. Okay, let's move on from some things that don't have Arnuka in them, shall we? Oh, that's nice. So here is our beloved cabbage tree. Now the reason these are beloved is just they're everywhere really. They're quite an iconic New Zealand plant. And, you know, they're quite good actually for attracting moreporks, because even though you can see now it's quite windy of course, but you can see that the branches don't move around too much, so they're quite sturdy for moreporks to perch on in the night while they're looking for prey. And when they flower and then fruit, Karuru and bellbird really like the berries. And another interesting thing is that, see how it's got multiple heads, as in, you know, bunches of leaves. It grows a new tuft, either from the top or sort of the base. You can see here there's some at the base, after every successful flowering season. So it looks like this guy's been very successful. Okay, let's move on. Well done, cabbage tree. Standing quite proudly here is the Nico palm, which is my favourite native tree. And now Nico are actually quite important for Maori, because they would use the fronds for their houses. You know, the dead fronds, of course, they'd cut them off and then put them as, you know, the roofing material. And Europeans also had a use for them, but it wasn't as nice to say, because Nico palms, when they mature, this guy actually has a lot to go. It doesn't even have a proper trunk yet. They would use the red hard berries when they didn't have any bullets. They'd use them as ammunition because they are so incredibly hard. And so what they'd do is they'd, you know, run out of bullets, so they'd get a berry, put it in their rifle, then they'd shoot at something like a kiraru, and because the berries are so hard, the force of the berry would knock the kiraru out, make it fall onto the ground, and then they'd, you know, kill it with a knife. And oh yeah, and also the leaf litter, actually from the dead fronds that eventually fall off, has been found to provide a home for countless native snail species, and also to support about 150 species of fungi. Okay, let's move on. See you around, Nico. Now this is kotukutuku, or tree fuchsia, and now kotukutuku is very unique because of its flowers, as I have a flower here. And the reason because its flowers are so special is you look at the stamens, they actually, instead of having bright yellow pollen, they have blue pollen. And if I just quickly try and get some on my fingers, here we go, you can see that it almost looks like ink really, and this is pollen. And now tree fuchsia is very unique because blue pollen is extremely rare in the plant kingdom, and it's the only fuchsia actually that does have blue pollen. And now it's also quite unique because it's the largest tree fuchsia, fuchsia, sorry, that it is the largest one, getting to about 12 meters. And also, if you look at the bark, it actually has very crackly bark, so it's quite easy to identify, and especially with these beautiful flowers. Oh, a bit of blue on my lips. So here we have the stunning pirere, which is one of the few native trees that actually has large flowers, and it actually flowers and fruits all year round, and its flowers are often pink. And here's a flower actually. Now this is the flower of this pirere, which is sort of seems like a bit of a dark pink. And Tui and Bulbub absolutely love the nectar from the flowers, and Kararu love the fruit. And now here we go, this is a fruit. So they're ripe when they're red, and they're still ripening when they're green, so the kiddo always goes to the red ones. And the fire hardened wood was actually used by Maori to make taiaha, or spears. So yeah, yeah, I really love this tree as well. Okay, see you around, Puriri. So the lance wood is one of the oddities of the New Zealand's forest. And so this one here is a juvenile, and this form lasts for about 15 or 20 years. It kind of looks like, maybe to me, it kind of looks 3 or 5 years old. And the leaves are stiff and leathery, as you can see, with a prominent central rib with irregular teeth, all growing downwards from the central stem. It's only when this tree is actually mature that it adopts a typical tree shape. You know, it actually starts branching out, isn't it? It doesn't look like a stick with leaves coming out of it. One of the theories about this curious change of, change of appearance is that the young plant had to protect itself against browsing by the moa, the giant flightless bird from prehistoric times in New Zealand. And once it was above moa height, it was out of danger of being nibbled by them, and so turns into a regular tree. Okay, let's move on. See, lancewood. This is what a mature lancewood tree actually looks like. Here are some amazing faux seed pods. So this amazing tree is called the faux, and the faux actually needs lots of light to grow, so it needs to be able to access a gap in the forest canopy, and it is very distinct by its really spiky seed pods, as you can see, all bunched up there, that when they get knocked off, they germinate very quickly, and of course that's so they can access and take the light before anything else can outgrow them. So, they can outgrow them. And it has very light wood. It's actually lighter than cork, even. And Maori used the wood for the floats for its fishing net. So, this is really a quite amazing tree. Okay, bye, faux. So finally we have the Rimu, and this magnificent tree can live to around 800 to 1,000 years, and it was a very popular timber tree in New Zealand because it could be found absolutely everywhere, and its wood could be used for a variety of purposes, and because 800 to 1,000 years old, they got absolutely massive. So this guy here has a long way to go, and it was also known as the red pine. Okay, so I suppose it's time to start saying goodbye, isn't it? Thanks for watching. I really hope that this video has really reinforced what treasures New Zealand native plants really are. And I hope that, if you have a free Sunday or a week, or, you're here overseas on vacation, that maybe you can actually come down to Bush City here at Te Papa to get up and close personal with these treasures of nature. Haere rā!